The gathering stormed the council chamber, floated in the void between stars. A massive station, where the most powerful species in the galaxy conducted their secret affairs. Today, 12 alien races had gathered for one purpose: to discuss the fate of a small blue planet called Earth. Commander Vex stood at the center of the circular room, his 4 arms gesturing as he spoke. The Krillian was tall and covered in dark scales that reflected the chamber's dim light. His yellow eyes surveyed the other delegates with confidence. "The humans are ripe for conquest," Vex declared. "Our scouts have watched them for 50 of their years. They fight among themselves constantly. Their weapons are primitive. Their ships barely leave their own moon." Around the chamber, the alien representatives nodded in agreement. The insect-like Drax clicked their mandibles in approval. The floating energy beings known as the Lux pulsed with interest. The massive rock-skinned granite warriors rumbled their consent. "We divide their world among us," continued a Drax commander named Tick. "The northern lands for my people. The southern continents for the Krillians. The oceans for the Lux. Their resources will fuel our empires for generations," added Vex. "And their population will serve us well. Humans are clever enough to be useful, but too divided to resist." The vote was unanimous. The invasion would begin in 30 Earth days. Far across the galaxy. Captain Mike Torres floated through the corridors of Defense Station Alpha, humanity's first permanent orbital platform above Earth. The station was small compared to the dreams of science fiction writers, but it represented humanity's best effort at protecting their home. Mike checked his monitor screens, watching the routine traffic of satellites and supply shuttles. Nothing unusual, just another quiet day in orbit. He sipped his coffee and thought about his daughter back home in Texas. She would be starting school soon. On the ground, Dr. Lisa Grant sat in her laboratory outside of London, studying the deep space monitoring equipment. Her job was to listen to the cosmos, searching for signs of intelligent life. For 15 years, she had heard nothing but cosmic noise, until today. "That's odd," Lisa muttered, adjusting her instruments. A signal had appeared at the edge of the solar system. Not natural. Too organized. Too deliberate. She ran the analysis 3 times before calling her supervisor. Within an hour, the message had reached the highest levels of government. General Robert Hayes stood in the Pentagon Situation Room, staring at the data on the screens before him. 56 unidentified objects had appeared beyond Pluto's orbit. They were huge. They were moving, and they were heading toward Earth. "How long until they reach us?" he asked. 3 days, sir," replied a young analyst. "They're moving faster than anything we've ever tracked. Get me the president. Get me every world leader. We need to talk. Now." The next 72 hours passed in a blur. Governments scrambled to coordinate. Military forces moved into position. Scientists worked desperately to understand what was coming. The media caught wind of the story, and panic began to spread through the streets of every major city. Then the alien fleet arrived. Captain Torres watched from his station as the ships emerged from faster-than-light travel. They were enormous, dwarfing anything humanity had ever built. 12 different designs, representing 12 different species. The largest ship positioned itself directly in front of his station, so close he could see the details of its hull. A transmission came through on all frequencies. Commander Vex's image appeared on every screen across Earth. "Humans of Earth," the alien said, his translator rendering his words in hundreds of languages simultaneously. "You are now subjects of the Galactic Union. Your world belongs to us. Surrender your governments. Disarm your militaries. Submit to our authority. You have 12 hours to comply. Resistance will result in the destruction of your cities and the enslavement of your people." The transmission ended. In the Pentagon, General Hayes looked at his staff. In Tokyo, Prime Minister Tanaka consulted with his advisors. In Mumbai, Delhi, Moscow, Paris, and every capital city, leaders faced the same impossible choice. But something unexpected happened. From every corner of Earth, the response came back the same. Workers and soldiers, mothers and children, the rich and poor, the powerful and powerless, they all said the same word: no. Captain Torres armed his station's weapons. Primitive as they were, Dr. Grant began analyzing the alien ships for weaknesses. General Hayes gave the order to prepare for battle. The aliens had made their first mistake. They thought humans would surrender when faced with superior force. They were about to learn otherwise. Asterisk the fire of resistance. First alien attack came at dawn over Tokyo. 3 Kryllian warships descended through the clouds, their energy weapons charging with an ominous hum that rattled windows across the city. Commander Vex had ordered a demonstration of power, something to break human spirit once, and for all dot, the beams lanced down toward the city center. But they never reached the ground. Fighter jets from the Japanese Air Defense Force screamed through the sky, missiles blazing. The projectiles exploded harmlessly against the alien shields, but they forced the warships to maneuver. Ground-based artillery opened fire, filling the air with smoke and thunder. They dare to resist? Vex watched from his command ship in orbit, disbelief evident in his voice. Destroy them. Show no mercy. The Kryllian ships returned fire, and buildings exploded into flame. Hundreds died in seconds. But the humans did not retreat. More fighters arrived. Tank divisions rolled through the streets, firing upward. Soldiers with shoulder-mounted rockets took positions on rooftops. The battle lasted 3 hours. When it ended, 2 Kryllian warships lay smoking in the ruins of the city. The third limped back to orbit, its hull breached and leaking atmosphere. Tokyo had paid a terrible price, but the aliens had learned something disturbing. Humans would fight. Similar scenes played out across the globe. In New York, Drax ships attempted to land in Central Park and were met with coordinated strikes from Army units. In London, the Lux energy beings tried to disable the power grid, but found themselves targeted by electromagnetic pulse weapons that scientists had rapidly deployed. In Sydney, granite warriors landed with their heavy armor and were shocked to find humans using tactics that turned city streets into deadly traps. Captain Torres watched the global battle unfold from his orbital station. His small crew had already engaged 2 alien scout ships, damaging one with a lucky hit from their railgun. It was not much, but it was something. Captain, I'm detecting a pattern, said Lieutenant James Red, his tactical officer. The alien shields weaken just before they fire their weapons. There's a power fluctuation. Torres leaned forward. How long does the weakness last? Half a second. Maybe less. Then we time our shots. Tell every ship, every station. Spread the word. The information passed through military channels rapidly. Human forces began adapting their tactics. Wait for the alien ships to prepare their weapons. Fire during the shield fluctuation. It did not work every time, but it worked enough. On the ground, General Hayes coordinated the defense from a bunker deep beneath the Pentagon. Reports flooded in from every continent. The losses were heavy, but humanity was holding. More importantly, they were learning. Sir, we've captured an intact Drax fighter in Nevada, reported Major Kate Wilson. The pilot didn't survive the crash, but the ship's systems are intact. Get every scientist we have on it, Hayes ordered. I want to know how their technology works. I want to know their weaknesses. In London, Dr. Lisa Grant worked with an international team of scientists, studying the wreckage of a Lux energy vessel. The aliens had made their ships complicated, but humans had one advantage. Desperation breeds innovation. Their power cores use a crystalline matrix, Lisa explained to her team. If we can disrupt the resonance frequency, The whole system should collapse. How do we disrupt it? Asked Dr. Tom Rivera from California, joining via video link. Sound waves. Specific frequencies. We can weaponize it. Within 24 hours, human forces deployed new sonic weapons. They were crude and short-range, but they worked. Lux ships began falling from the skies. Commander Vex watched his invasion falling apart from his command ship. The humans should have broken by now. They should have surrendered. Instead, they adapted to every tactic. They learned from every encounter. They turned captured technology against its creators. "Commander, we've lost 43 ships," reported his second officer. "The Dracs are requesting we withdraw and reassess." "No." Vex slammed his fist against the console. "We have superior numbers, superior technology. We will crush them." But doubt crept into his mind. The other alien species were growing restless. The Granite had lost their entire landing force in Moscow, trapped in subway tunnels and eliminated by human explosives. The insect Dracs were finding their ships outmaneuvered by human pilots, who flew with a recklessness that defied logic. In space, Captain Torres led a desperate attack on an alien supply convoy. His small fleet of defense stations and converted civilian ships was outnumbered 5-1. But they had studied the aliens now. They knew the patterns. "All ships, target their engines during weapons charge," Torres commanded. "Hit them fast and scatter." Commander Vex received the news in silence. Around him, his bridge crew waited nervously. The other alien species were already sending messages. The Lux wanted to withdraw. The Dracs spoke of reassessment. Even the mighty Granite questioned the wisdom of continuing. Vex stared at the blue planet below, at the lights of human cities still burning, despite everything his forces had thrown at them. For the first time, he felt something he had not expected to feel. Fear. The ultimate price, the Galactic Council Chamber. Once filled with confident voices planning Earth's conquest, now echoed with accusations and fear. Commander Vex stood at the center, facing the fury of 11 alien species who had believed his promises of an easy victory. "You said they were primitive." The Drax Commander Teek's mandibles clacked with rage. "You said they would surrender." "We have lost half our fleet. The Granite warriors who landed on their world are gone." "All of them," rumbled the massive stone-skinned delegate. "Humans collapsed their tunnels, trapped them underground, used their own strength against them." Vex's forearms trembled. "They were supposed to be divided. Weak. Our intelligence showed. Your intelligence was worthless." The Lux representative pulsed with anger. "These humans learn too quickly. They adapt. They take our weapons and make them better. They fight like they have nothing to lose." "Because they don't," said a quiet voice. Everyone turned to look at a small alien scientist named Piam, who had been studying human broadcasts. The little creature brought up images on the central display. "Look at their history," Piam said. "They have always been this way. They fight each other, yes, but the moment an outside threat appears, they unite. They have survived ice ages, plagues, wars that killed millions of their own kind. And every time, they come back stronger." The images showed human history, ancient warriors, medieval battles, world wars, and always the same pattern. Humans pushed to the edge, and humans pushing back. "We made them unite," Pian continued. "We gave them a common enemy. We did the one thing that makes humans most dangerous. We threatened their home." Commander Vex felt his certainty crumbling. On the display, new reports appeared. Human forces had launched a massive counteroffensive. They were no longer just defending. They were attacking. On Earth, General Hayes stood in the command center, watching the global operation unfold. 3 weeks ago, humanity had been on the brink of defeat. Now They were winning. Operation Rising Dawn is proceeding as planned, sir, Major Wilson reported. Our forces are targeting every alien position simultaneously. Hayes nodded. The plan was simple but effective. Hit everywhere at once. Give the aliens no time to coordinate, no chance to regroup. Use their own surprise tactics against them. Captain Torres led the space assault. His fleet had grown, incorporating dozens of ships equipped with reverse-engineered alien technology. Human engineers had taken the captured systems and improved them, made them faster, more efficient. All ships advance on the command vessel, Torres ordered. That's Vex's flagship. We take that down, and their command structure collapses. The human fleet moved as one, coordinated in a way the aliens had never managed. Fighter craft screened the larger vessels. Missile ships launched waves of projectiles. Energy weapon platforms charged and fired with precision timing. The alien fleet tried to respond, but they were confused, disorganized. The species that had come together for conquest now argued among themselves. The Dracs wanted to flee. The Lux were already retreating. The granite ships moved to defensive positions. Only the Krillians fought on, loyal to Commander Vex. But even they were faltering. On the ground, Dr. Lisa Grant watched from her laboratory as human forces stormed the last alien stronghold in North America. Soldiers moved with captured energy shields. Tanks fired modified plasma cannons. Aircraft used alien stealth technology. We didn't just survive, she said to her colleague Tom Rivera. We evolved. In 3 weeks, we've advanced our technology by decades. That's what humans do, Tom replied. We learn. We adapt. We overcome. In space, the battle reached its conclusion. Torres' ship, the Defender, came alongside Vex's massive flagship. The alien vessel was 10 times larger, but it was wounded, bleeding atmosphere and energy from a dozen breaches. Commander Vex, Torres broadcast on all frequencies. This is Captain Mike Torres of Earth Defense. Your invasion has failed. Your allies have abandoned you. Surrender now, and we will show mercy. Continue fighting, and we will destroy you. On the Krillian flagship, Commander Vex stared at the human ship through his view screen. It was so small compared to his vessel. Yet it had won. The humans had won. How? Vex whispered. How did you defeat us? Torres's voice came back, firm and clear. You thought we were weak because we fight among ourselves. You didn't understand that our ability to disagree, to compete, to challenge each other makes us stronger. You thought we would surrender because you had better weapons. You didn't understand that weapons don't win wars. Will does. And you threatened our home, our families, our future. You united 7 billion humans who all decided that surrender was not an option. Vex looked around his bridge. His crew waited for orders. Behind him, the fleet was breaking apart. The other alien species were fleeing, jumping to faster-than-light speed to escape. He had promised them an easy conquest. He had delivered disaster. I surrender, Vex said quietly. The war ended not with a grand battle, but with a whimper. The alien fleet retreated in chaos. Those who could not escape surrendered. Human forces captured hundreds of ships, thousands of soldiers, and technology beyond their previous imagination. 3 months later, General Hayes stood at the United Nations, addressing representatives from every nation on Earth. The invasion cost us 3 million lives, he said. Entire cities were damaged or destroyed. But we survived. And more than that, we proved something to the galaxy. Earth is not defenseless. Humanity is not prey. The captured alien technology was being studied, integrated, and improved. Human ships now traveled faster than light. Human weapons could match anything the aliens had brought. And most importantly, humanity remained united. Captain Torres returned to Defense Station Alpha, which had been rebuilt and expanded. His daughter visited him there, staring out at the stars with wonder. "Are the aliens going to come back, Dad?" she asked. Torres put his arm around her. "Maybe, but if they do, they'll find us ready. They'll find us stronger. They came to enslave us, and instead, they gave us the stars." In the Galactic Council chamber, now a very different place, the remaining alien species gathered. They did not discuss conquest. They discussed something else entirely. "The humans have sent ambassadors," said the Lux representative. "They wish to negotiate trade agreements, technology exchanges, peace treaties, after what we did to them?" asked Teak the Drax. "They offer peace? They offer partnership," corrected PM the scientist. "They learned from us. Now they want to learn with us. That is the human way. They don't just survive. They turn enemies into allies." A vote was taken. For the first time in galactic history, a new species was invited to join the council. Not as subjects, not as servants. As equals. Commander Vex, imprisoned but treated with dignity, watched the news from his cell. The humans could have executed him. Instead, they gave him a room, food, and access to information. Some human guards even talked with him, curious about his world, his people. Why? He asked one guard, a young man named David, "Why treat me with kindness after everything?" David shrugged. "Because you lost, and we won. The war is over. Now we build the peace. That's what humans do. We fight when we must, but we prefer to build." Vex finally understood. The humans had not won because they were more violent or more aggressive. They won because they could be both warriors and peacemakers. They could fight with everything they had, and then offer their hand to a defeated enemy. Earth had paid a price for its freedom, but the galaxy had paid the ultimate price for underestimating humanity. The alliance formed to enslave one world had been shattered. The species that came seeking conquest limped home in defeat, and the reputation of the Galactic Council as an unstoppable force was broken forever. The humans had done more than survive. They had announced their arrival to the cosmos as a force to be respected, feared, and perhaps most surprisingly, trusted. The age of human isolation was over. The age of humanity among the stars had begun, and it had all started because 12 alien species made one fatal mistake. They threatened Earth and learned that humans would never surrender their home. The end. Asterisk.